according to regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. So help me God.
What's up, guys? I am back. I know it's been a long time, almost a year since my last video, but it's been hectic and real crazy ever since I left for boot camp and after. I'm gonna get into that, but the purpose of this video was tips for boot camp, A school, and in the fleet. So we're gonna get right into it. So yeah, the reason why it took me so long to make this video was after I graduated boot camp, December 17th, I didn't have the correct orders yet, so I was stuck at THU, temporary holding unit, and lots of people go there if they have medical issues or legal issues or just like waiting on orders. You know, like some people probably like re-rated and they need new orders, so that's where they'll be at. And I was there for 2 months waiting on orders. And total, I was on the RTC side of Great Lakes for 4 months. Then once I moved over to A school, I was there for 2 months. But I didn't have much time to like sit and make a video because it like something was always going on. Like there were like when I had downtime, I chose to like get my rest because it was long, like really long days, especially on my duty days. And once I got to my command, it was from the start, because I'm in engineering, we had a lights on assessment and LOA, so like, as we call it. And we just hit the ground running with a bunch of mock LOAs, and then the actual LOA came. And it was just long days from there and just so tired. And I just finished up with being an FSA, which is a food service attendant, but some people may call it cranking, you know, FSA cranking. It was real tough. 90 days, 3 months, it was just real tough. And a lot of underways into that, so like my entire first year was just busy. But now, let's jump into the video. Sorry about that long intro, but here we go. All right, so my tips for boot camp. Don't be afraid to stand up, step out, like get out of your comfort zone, because they're gonna break you down, then build you back up. By they, I mean your RDCs and all the instructors in boot camp, because their jobs are to train you to like the basics of being a sailor, and they don't have time for people who aren't going to be serious or just don't take anything seriously, because you're joining the military. You're not going to summer camp, you're not in school, you can't there's no class clowns when you're in boot camp because everything is serious. Like I said, RDC is there to train you, not yell at you, beat you, all this, like all that other stuff. Like, you know why everybody has their reasons for joining. For me, remember your reasons for raising your right hand, saying that oath. Another tip, ask questions if you don't understand anything. I think that's self-explanatory. If you're that person that asks a lot of questions all the time, that's completely fine, because we had somebody like that in our division. Everybody's like, oh, this guy's asking questions again. But some of those questions were questions people wanted to ask. They were just scared to ask because they didn't want to get laughed at or thought they were going to get yelled at for it. Another one, whatever motivates you to keep you not in, but like to keep you going each day. Keep that motivation in your head. Spread your motivation and motivate others. Because when other people are motivated, everybody's motivated. You all got, like, everybody in your division becomes a team. You guys become close. And, like, that's just one of those bonds where you're like, we really did this together. Like, this is something that we won't get to do again together. Like, you go through boot camp with your division one time. And after you graduate, everybody goes different places. And it's just like, you'll always have those memories with you and stuff. So, like, just, keep each other motivated. The hard times, the good times. There's going to be some rough days, and you just got to push through. For Chow, stay in the green as best as you can. Just, before you join, try to, like, if you don't have a healthy diet, try to get on a somewhat healthy diet, or like a healthy diet strictly, because, like, you only get 10 minutes to eat. When that last person sits down for Chow, that timer starts, and once it's done, it's done. There's no taking food to the compartment. There's no eating in the compartment. Like, it's done. And last thing I can probably say is, when taps is called, those lights go out, those red lights come on, go to sleep. Don't stay awake. Just go to sleep. Get your rest, because you're going to need it. I remember we were doing, I want to say it was firefighting. We had to be up. Our rev was at 4:30, I believe. And our RDCs were getting us to bed by 20:30 or 20:00. That was being generous. Like, they were being real generous so we could have some rest, because we were going to have really long days for firefighting. And 22, 23 people are still up, coking and joking, just running around, like, acting crazy and stuff. And by that next morning, by Rev, everybody was, like, those people who were, like, up and about, tired, falling asleep, not paying attention. And you don't want that to be you, because the type of division I was in, one person messed up, it was the staff's fault. Not the staff's fault. Like, it was the staff's responsibility to hold them accountable. Or if it's not the staff, then the entire division. So don't have other people be held accountable for your actions that can be, sorry, the word escaped me, but yeah, don't have other people held accountable for your action. And I think that's all I have for tips on boot camp. So yeah. All right, tips for A school. Set yourself up financially. When you got a boot camp, I've seen a lot of people buy iPhone 12s, gaming laptops, or just spending recklessly. I'm not gonna lie, I was one of those people always running to the next, just because, or going to the food court when I could have went to the galley and ate. And just, like, set yourself up financially, because we get paid decently, and just, like, save up for something. Like, some people want to buy a car, some people want to save up, be able to put a down payment on a house, stuff like that. So be financially sound, make smart decisions with your money. Another tip, maintain your military bearing, because when you're in A school, there's no more getting beat. There's UCMJ. Like, you can go up to mass for not, like, just saying dumb stuff to an officer that's passing, or not being where you're supposed to be at, just stuff like that. Ask questions. If you don't know anything, doesn't hurt to ask questions. I had to get lost on base one time almost, just so I could find my way around, and there was nobody around for me to, like, ask questions or, like, get directions from. So it doesn't hurt to ask. be a team player. I was in A school. My first month, I was on holds, and it was tough doing those heavy sweepers for like 3 hours straight, and thinking we're done cleaning. Then the NMTIs walk through, and they're just like, "Oh no, clean the whole ship again." So we're all cleaning, swabbing, sweeping, all of that, and holds is something else, but it'll make you stronger. Don't follow the crowd. Like, you'll see people who you think are your friends, your buddies, and they'll start doing like stupid stuff, and don't roll with them if you know like what they're doing is not right. Try to stop them from doing what they're going to do. Just don't follow the crowd. Be a leader and make smart decisions, like I said. And the biggest tip for A school: maintain your military bearing. A lot of people graduate from boot camp, get the sailor title, and just act like they didn't go through boot camp at all. Like they weren't there shaking in their boots when the RDC asked them a question because they were too scared of taking a hit. And like, you see those people, and it's just like, all right, like you can stand at attention for 5 minutes, but now you're just like all coking and joking and stuff like that. So, excuse me, maintain your military bearing. And yeah, that's interesting for A school. Also, when you're in your actual A school, take notes, pay attention, because it'll go a long way. Unfortunately for me, I wasn't rated. I'm a undesk fireman, and I didn't have the chance to go through the entire basic engineering Common Core or at an actual A school for rate. So I didn't get the chance to put on a third class if I was the top in my class at all. So it just sucked because I knew I was up there before I left, and I just took the knowledge that I gained and ran with it pretty much. So yeah, take like as much as you can learn it, run with it, keep it, utilize it as best as you can, because yeah. Tips for the fleet: I am stationed in Mayport, Florida, right outside of Jacksonville, on DDG 119 USS WD Black, and it's been a wild ride so far. First and foremost, maintain your military bearing. That starts in boot camp and it stays with you forever. Maintain your military bearing. You can have fun. A lot of people on my ship like to joke around and stuff, and we'll talk, like officers will talk to you like they're your buddies, but at the end of the day, like, military bearing, don't like deviate from that or get like too far away from it. Sometimes you can like let it down, but remember, like, that's a really important part of the military. Focus on, when you first get to your ship, focus on getting to know your ship, your equipment, your spaces, and getting qualified, because it's taken people a long time to get qualified, and like eventually that'll mess with the watch bill for duty sections and stretching out the duty sections or making them collapse. Because engineering, well, on my ship we have 5 sections, and my engineering sections, we went from 5 to 4 because a lot of people are out with COVID, but a lot of people weren't qualified to stand and watch as well. So we had to drop down, and it was a real strain, working long days, and then like you look up and you have duty again. Learn as much as you can. Ask questions, like always. Learn as much as you can. Have fun. Try the best to make something out of nothing. make the best out of nothing sometimes. Been on a lot of underways, and my first underway, I went out, saw the ocean, and blew it was I was just breathtaking by the view. Just taking as much as you can, learning wise. Not every day is gonna be the best day, but try to find something that makes it a good day. Volunteer whenever you can, because that can go it can go a long way. Again, ask a lot of questions. Work on getting called, like I said. I'm just a fireman, but I want to be able, being a fireman, you want to be able to do a third class job, or do whatever a third class is supposed to be able to do, or even a second. And by that, I mean, get familiar with your spaces and equipment. So when somebody comes to you, asks a question, or you're going through inspection and one of the assessors asks you a question that a first class can answer, you can answer it to the best of your ability and knowledge, and they're just taken away by that, and they keep a mental note of it, and like I said, it just goes a long way. So yeah, those are my tips for the fleet. Sorry it wasn't a lot, and if you want to stick around, I can tell you a little bit about my boot camp experience. Like I said, I went through COVID boot camp, so a lot of things we didn't get to do. 6-week push, so a lot of things just rushed, and we were just time crunch to get out. So yeah. Real quick, my boot camp experience. Shipped out October 21st, 2020. Went from RTC. Once I made it to Chicago, went to RTC, then from RTC to Fort McCoy. Around for 2 weeks, then made it to boot camp. For the next 6 weeks were, there was something else. Honestly, I'm grateful I went through that entire experience because it changed me a lot. And I saw a lot of things, met a lot of people from different backgrounds and stuff like that. Some things that we didn't get to do. I know we didn't get to do the gas chamber like most people do. If you've seen the Making the Sailor video, I'm not sure if they put out another one, but if you've seen the first one, they did the gas chamber. I didn't get to do that. I can't speak on battle stations. Signed at page 13. Yeah, that's. I didn't get to do gas chamber. I can't think of it all right now. I apologize. But being in a 6-week push just really sucked because you're just constantly on the go. There's no oh, we gotta go back and do this or that, because we took 2 tests. You take 2 tests, and those who fail take the test the next day. But what also sucks about that is the next day, you're scheduled to do more things going forward, and you can't miss that, or you're just gonna be backtracking. You're running around all day. There was a guy in my division. He ran around the entire base all day. Went to gun shoot, swimming. I want to say firefighting. Just did all that in one day, and he did all that just to catch back up because he was so far behind, and it was just really it just really sucked because you're basically jogging from place to place, and RTC is a pretty big base, and the routes that you have to take just really they really suck. So it was just really I don't know, it was just really hard watching people do that or go through that. For my people who can't swim that are joining, I highly suggest that you at least learn the basics of swimming, try to learn like how to backstroke before you get there, because I've seen guys that got asthma, and the day after they got asthma, they passed their swim, but they couldn't come back to our division because we were about to roll into battle stations, and we had everything set, and they had to wait for another division. But the closest division behind us was 2 weeks behind, so they had to wait a whole 2 weeks after they passed their swim just to go through battle stations and just to like basically catch up with us after everybody was gone pretty much. I was in division 061, graduated with 93 people, with a total 103 before the swimmers. Boot camp was a strain. Like I said, get your rest as much as you can. And me being a yeoman, have to take down temperatures for COVID. I had to be up like an hour before everybody else, just so I can get ready, get everybody's temperatures and stuff, get it logged down and have it ready for when the RDCs came in. That rev time was the time we were supposed to be on the tow line, at attention, brags made, everything, and just ready for the day to start. So help each other out as best as you can. Good luck to you for those that are watching this that are getting ready to go to boot camp. Those of you that are getting out, congratulations. Welcome to the Navy. And yeah, just keep being great.